Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, June 19th, and today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, CONY, Nvidia, MSTY, SMCY, PLTY, that, the other thing, and all that fun. All right, so please confirm the sound is working as we are live, of course. Started at 6:30 only because I'm off today. Again, I prefer to start at 6:30 when I go live, but obviously if I'm working, you cannot. All right, sounds good. All right, let's get to it. So let's see who had trades. TSLY had trades. Nvidia had trades. CONY had trades. Who else? MSTY had a crap load of trades. I would know. SMCY everyone had freaking trades. So yesterday was basically the Thursday because the market is closed today. So again, YieldMax typically starts to close out their positions on the Thursday. So since Wednesday, yesterday was representative essentially of the Thursday, we were busy yesterday. So that being said, why not bug you guys right now and say, if you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you feel bad for me going through all these trades, please hit the like button. All right. So anyway, let's get to it. So what did MSTY do yesterday? Buy to close. Okay. 53 cents, 43 cents. Looking good, right? They just closed out their positions and they opened new ones into the following week. Same thing here, buy to close, 49 cents. Okay. And then more down here. But as you know, we cover this file, the MSTY files, in much more detail. So we'll go through it here. So before we get to the weeklies tab, they do have synthetics, obviously. Actually, did they even add to the synthetic? I don't even know. Any purple alert here? I don't think so. No new money, no additional outstanding shares either. So it's just synthetics are just chilling, right? They got two 370s and they have a 380. All right. So they're just hanging out. They expire. Well, one of the 370s expire July 11th and the other expires July 18th. So can you dig that? All right. So let's go to check out the price change yesterday. How did MSTR and MSTY do yesterday comparably? Again, yesterday was the 18th. So if we look here, MSTR, they went down 1.64%. MSTY obviously went down too, but they did not go down as much. They went down 1.44%. So, okay, that's fine, right? Nothing too crazy. What about the IV? Well, the IV went from 50.24% on the 17th to 51.13% on the 18th. And unfortunately, this morning, it's back down to 49. So the IV is still struggling at this very moment. But I mean, whatever, man. What can we do with that? All right, so let's go to the top and see what kind of actions they did. Again, anything kind of bulked together, I'll just cover together. But, look at the reds here, close price. The 395, they won those trades, right? They did have credit call spreads here. Obviously, they got a little chump change for that, so it's all good. But if you net everything together, this little bucket of fun here made about $1 million. So okay, we'll take $1 million, right? You take $1 million, I'll take $1 million. And then you got 3,000 contracts here. Again, paid 49 cents to close that sucker. They made 508 credit when they opened it, so obviously this is a win. They made 1.3 mil on that trade. And then if you look at these three together, all 395 strikes, all 49 cents to close. Obviously, we got over $4 to close those suckers. I mean, when they opened those suckers. And what did we make? Net $2.3 million on that trade. So again, MSTR, it's kind of chilling. It's not really doing much. It's going down. It's going up a little. But it's not moving. But in the meantime, we're making money selling covered calls. So here's another group, 395 into 392. Again, really cheap to close because MSTR is at what price? Let's see. What they closed at yesterday? 369. So obviously, yeah, they won. They won their trades. They made another 2.2 mil over here now. All right, keep going here. Oh, 123 whopping contracts, right? 49 cents to close, 43 cents to close here, and then 43 cents to close that one. So between these three, let's highlight them together. They made about another $3.7 million net. So again, we're just winning our trades. That's what we're doing. We're just hanging out. We're just winning our, making money. No big deal here. All right. So what do we got going on here? We got a 390, a 390, and a 395. Obviously, how much did they pay to close it? Oh, they have a 392.50 as well. So yeah, they paid. Well, look at this one. They also closed a 412.50. That one was actually set to expire next week. They closed that sucker early. They paid $1.29, but again, they got 455. And you got to think, like, yesterday was the 18th. They just opened that on the 16th. So this was like a 2-day DTE now, right? So that was a quick buck. So if we highlight everything I just spoke of, how much did we win? We made $9.2 million. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it. Make sure it's picking up over here. Yep. Okay. Yep. All right. So let's keep going. Down here, this one, yeah, this was a 400 strike. It expired next week as well. They closed it for $2.30. They made a $425,000 on that quick trade. In fact, this was a 1 DTE. They just opened it on the 17th and they closed it the next day. Again, active, super active trading, to say the least. I mean, do you see any other funds this freaking busy? I I guess I picked the busiest damn fund out of every freaking fund out there, but it's so far, again, it's working. All right, they're active. They're doing their best to make us money. I don't know what this 2 is, but it's just hanging out. I assume that's on the trades. Let's see. If we go here. Where's the 2? Where's my 2? There it is, a 2 contracts. Nice. All right, anyway, so that's the update there. Outstanding shares. Gotta update this formula now. See, it's not dragging. That's good enough, right? See the spreadsheets, you can't trust them. You can't trust. I should probably drag it down further. But what did that help our income? Yeah, it did. All right, 97 mil now. All right, anyway, outstanding shares, did they change? No, they did not. Okay, no big deal there. That's unusual. Maybe they just didn't update it. But anyway, coffee break. Everyone take a sip of coffee. I got my coffee warmer. I'm set, man. I'm all set up for live streams on occasion. All right, Misty, the recap for everything. Misty price $20.55, so it's still $20. Again, we can't complain if Misty's still at $20. The Ruckus says ads suck. Do you get ads on the live stream? I thought you don't. Anyway, MSTR is at 369.03, 30-day IV, 49%. Outstanding shares, 227 mil. Total net income we talked about. This is 97 mil. That's a distro of 43 cents, a daily income of 3 cents a day, a daily yield of 0.12%. And if you annualize that sucker, 44%. So is that a lot of money? Not really. It's okay. It's good. But what's their IV? 49. So they're kind of doing their job. They're doing their job. And they got more money to be made for this week. So don't worry. Stay tuned for that. All right. So here's the comparison of the various suckers over here. So what are we doing? MSTR, they went down 1.64%. All right. Misty went down 1.44%. So Misty beat MSTR. That's cool. Winter went up as it should. All right. Good to know. IMST, they went down 1.47%. They went down a little more than Misty. All right. But they still beat MSTR. MST, looks like yesterday was ex-dividend date for them. But taking that out, they went down 2.95%. And last but not least, we have MS2. They went down 1.6%. So overall, the winner is MSTY. Yay! All right, whatever. All right, let's keep going. Busy day yesterday. That is my reaction. And Group D declares in 13 days. So stay tuned for that. Say hello to the bad guy. All right, so let's go through the payment information. Synthetic income, not so much. Again, that's a loss, 271 mil. So we will just focus how much we're making on weeklies. 97 mil, comparably to the last, the last bunch of weeklies. They're doing good. They're doing the best actually for out of the 9 different cycles here. They're up to 43 cents per share. Fantastic, right? Rodamator says all things being equal, it's actually kind of in line now. It's in line with the IV almost. So we have a payment anywhere from 75 to 78 cents, which, it's not fun. I know it sucks. Under $1. Imagine MSTY under $1 payment. The world's going to freak out. People are going to jump to PLTY, right? No, I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. But that's what I'm showing. Wish I had better stats for you there. All right, so let's go to their holdings and let's check out what they got left for the week. So again, if you look over here under the QSIP column, this is on the download of the holdings. You guys can download this yourself, obviously, if you wanted to review this or any of the other funds. But in black fund, I have the contracts that expire this week. And then in red, these ones were moved to next week. So we're really not going to talk about the next week trades yet. So let's focus on the black font. And if we look at those, we have 3 strikes left over, a 3 at 87.50, which is 5% out of the money, a 390, which is 5.68% out of the money, and then a 392.50, which is 6.36% out of the money. I mean, we have 1 trading day left because, again, the stock market is closed today. Hopefully you guys are off from your jobs today. If not, that sucks. And I am actually lucky enough to be off, so I can get my ass to the gym now after this. But school is out at the same time. So chaos, kind of begins today. So lucky me. But yeah, anyway, so that's the update on the current calls. If we scroll up, we look at the rest of the holdings, what's going on. They got synthetics. They got gold diggers. Not really. They expire July 18th. So we'll see, man. We'll let it play out. Let's let it play out. Let it be. Let it be. All right. So what's the synthetics worth right now? Negative. So nothing much to get too excited about. The overall value of the MSTY fund is 4.6 bill. Again, Mister's not really moving, so it's not really helping this to hit the 5 bill mark. So I thought it would hit it by next week, but we'll see, man. All right, the NAV is 2057, trade price 2055. Synthetic contracts, they total 126,215. They're selling calls on 110,000 of those, or 87%. So they got 13% uncappity doodah, if that's what you like, right? Do you like uncappity doodah? Do you like a percentage uncappity doodah? Because you got some. And then they got the credit call spreads, not many, right? It's 10,000. Is that right? Let's see. Yeah, they just got the 10,000. This is the insurance play. This is the butt buddies. This is the credit call spreads, as the smart people say. But yeah, only 9% on that. All right. So that's the MSTY holdings. And then again, this is one of their competitors, IMST. This is probably their main competitor, to be honest, because it kind of does the same thing. They hold synthetics. And this is what Bitwise runs this show here. So they have synthetic positions and they sell calls. Their calls, they expire Friday. They are 5, 9, and 11% out of the money. So their calls look pretty safe for the week. So if MSTR does go up on the Friday, it looks like they'll be able to capture most, if not all of it. Their synthetics, they total 2,136. They're selling calls on about 81% of their position. So they got about 19% uncappity doodah there. And then we got MST, which again is not I don't really call it a direct competitor. It's just a different variation of, using MSTR and getting creative. But as far as their calls, we look real quick. As far as this week, 2, 3, and 4% out of the money. So they may be safe as well with one trading day left. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Did they have, yeah, yesterday? No, Thursday was, no. What the hell's today? Oh, my God. Today's Thursday. This was on the 17th where they declared, but we already talked about that, I think. All right, last but not least, MS2. This is the Rec Shares version. Again, not direct competitor, kind of different strategy, selling 50%, you know, exactly 50% of the position on calls. So yes, they hold a synthetic 256 contracts and they sell calls on 128, exactly 50%. And this is shown in tracking this, you know, from when they launched. So obviously they're doing what they're doing. All right. They're doing what they're doing. No questions that I saw, no video questions, but obviously I could take video questions at the end. If you guys are interested, if you're posting them and I didn't see it, please repost it at the end. But I'm trying to get through the video and then we'll BS at the end. Sound good? Great. Wonderful. Yippee-ki-yay. All right. Let's go to the other trades now. We covered Misty, everyone's favorite. Now we look at TSLY. All right. So before we do that, it's coffee time. Let's take a sip, guys. All right. We got 166 of you just chilling, hanging out. I appreciate you guys being here. But did you share the link with your friends and your family? Did you tell them there is a daily show to join and it's a must attend? All right, anyway, TSLY by the close, 36 cents. Okay, that's good. And then they're selling calls for next week. Look at that, same strike. So basically just move the date up. They said, all right, we'll pay the 36 cents and we'll roll it. We'll get a 505 credit. So yeah, cha-ching. Same thing here. Let's see, 38 cents. They closed it, 345, and they rolled this one. The strike price went down in this example, but they got a 563 credit. Very nice, very nice. All right, 45 cents they paid to close the 347.50. So yep. And they rolled that even further down, 340. But look at that credit, 630 per share. So yeah, cha-ching. Is it worth it? I don't know. It's 5% out of the money still, so that's not terrible. Buy to close, 51 cents, and then buy to close, 75 cents. So lots of closures. Is it all of them? Well, let's go take a look. Here's the TSLY file. So let's see what we got here. How did TSLY do yesterday? They went up. That's pretty good. I like it. I like that. All right. TSLY went up 1.77%. TSLY went up 1.81%. Is that good? Yeah. Hello. TSLY beat Tesla. Don't you love it? Don't you love it? All right. So before we get into the synthetic, let's take a look at the covered calls they got going on for this week. Again, they got a lot of trades, man. You can't even fit it in the freaking page. So we go to QSIP. All right, we got some 620s left, and then we got 627s on the bottom. Don't worry, I already changed the font. So we'll just focus on what expires tomorrow. We have a 330 strike, 2.47% out of the money. That's the lowest of the lowest strike. And then the highest strike is a 340, 5.57% out of the money. All right. So is that safe with one trading day? Maybe. Maybe not the 2%, maybe not the 3, 4, and 5. Again, I don't know, man. We'll see. A lot can happen today in the news, and so let's not get too excited yet. We'll just let the day progress here. So synthetic positions, they have 3. They have a 320, a 335, and a 340. TSLY sits at 322. So we got a month to recover, or we got some time before we start singing "Gold Digger." All right, everyone's favorite song. All right, the value of the TSLY fund sits at 1.1 bill. The NAV is 830, trade price 829. Synthetic is worth nothing. It's worth negative, actually. So we'll move on. 30-day IV of Tesla is 61%. IV estimate based on that is 39 cents. Income estimate 2 cents. And Group A declares when? On July 9th, 20 days away. All right, so that's a ways. Now up next is Nvidia. Did they have trades? Yeah, of course they did. Who didn't have freaking trades? All right, let me scroll down. All right, here we go. More coffee. No ads for me, says Boz. All right, that's cool. Yeah, I think when you go to a live stream, sometimes there's ads when you first open it. Sometimes there isn't, and then I think that's the end of it. I don't know, you guys. That's my experience. I don't have a YouTube Premium or anything. All right, so what happened with Nvidia? Buy calls, sell put. They're adding to the 120 synthetic, and then buy to close calls. Two of them. They closed the 149. Why am I frozen? They closed the 149 and they closed a 148, and they paid 10 cents and they paid 15 cents. So what was their strikes though? If we look here, they rolled it to a 149. They got a credit of 131. This they closed 148 and they just rolled it to a 148. So they kept the same strikes. They just moved up the date for Nvidia, which is okay. It's okay. We'll see what it looks like. All right. Nvidia yesterday, Nvidia went up 0.93%. Nvidia actually beat Nvidia. It went up 1.02%. So we are now 2 for 2, baby. 2 for 2. Actually, Misty beat Mr. 2. We're technically 3 for 3. So, yeah. All right. So, again, let's take a look at the covered calls that expire Friday. We know Black Font Friday. All right. Great. Wonderful. All right. Let me get this. Mouse is like stuttering. Don't need a stuttering mouse here. Got enough problems. All right. So the lowest of the lowest of the lowest strike is a 145. That's 0.33% in the money. And then we got two more, 146, 147. That's 0.36 and 1% out of the money. Is that safe? I mean, probably not. But we got Friday. All we got is one trading day. So Nvidia just needs to chill. Just chill. And then next week, I know we're not supposed to look at next week, but that don't look like a lot of wiggle room. So yuck. Yuckity doo-dah, all right? Or cappity doo-dah soon. All right, so how about their synthetics? Yeah, man, their synthetics are way ahead. They are making bank, bro. So if you want bank, bro, go check out these suckers. A 120 and a 130. Nvidia's at 145. So yeah, pretty much bank. All right, how much bank? Well, if you look right here, $2.31 per share on the paper. So yeah, that's good stuff. The value of the Nvidia fund though is 1.6 bill. The NAV of Nvidia is 1591. The trade price, here we go, 1662. Does anyone know why? Why is there a difference? Right? It's like Sesame Street. Why is there a difference between these two numbers? All right, obviously, guys, it is representative of Friday's holdings, and Friday is ex-dividend date. So, yeah, there's your little drop. What did Nvidia declare? I don't freaking know, but it's around this number. I forget already. So 30-day IV of Nvidia, it's kind of low. It's at 34%. IV estimate based on that, 44 cents. Income estimate showing 0. Income estimate showing 0. Okay, so let's go to the groups tab here. All right, so obviously I have to go to group B. Yeah, so this is obviously the wrong one. It's a debit, so yeah, they're in the negative anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So they'll declare again though in 27 days on July 16th. All right. Up next is your boy Conehead. What did you do to your cone? I mean, the Coneheads, they were singing Cappity Doodah all day yesterday. Coinbase had some good news come out for the company, and CONY was not prepared. CONY kind of got his ass whooped. So let's take a look at the numbers and this trades. Oh my goodness, they had a lot of trades. So what they do here? Sell call, buy to close put, buy to close call. All right, so people, looks like they had a forced closure here. 1,500 contracts had to go, and they closed that out. All right, so we'll skip that part and look here. Buy to close call, 19. Look at that. Oh my goodness. They had to pay $19.20 per share. Because look, they had a 270 strike, and look at the closing price of coin, 295. Wow, they got whooped. All right, this though was a good scenario because they had insurance. Look, the same 5,700 contracts, they had a 280 laying around. And guess what? This 280 made 1160 per share. So it offset 1160 of the 1920 damage. So if you actually net the two together, it was only a loss of 4.3. It could have been a loss of not 10.9. But again, the insurance, the credit call spread, the butt buddy, the whatever you want to call it, protection, it worked. Same thing here, 265. However, where's this? No, buy to close. No insurance on that one? Oh, damn, that hurt. All right, let's keep going. Let's see if any of these others had it. Buy to close, 2216. Here you go. They sold a call. They got 703 credit there. Yeah, pretty damaging, man. Pretty brutal day. Pretty too much upside in one day, man. That's what you don't want to see in these types of funds. This is why, when you own one of these funds and it's for an individual underlying, it could be quite damaging. All right, so let's keep going here. Buy to close, 2253. Good God. So again, this was a 265 blown through. All right, but they had a 277.50. That was again a long call, buy call. They got a 1232 credit for that sucker, so that definitely helped a lot, which is good, man. It's good that they had that. And then a buy to close here, 8,000, 2261. I don't see a sell call. So no insurance on the 8,000 one that I see, at least none that was closed. And then keep going down the line. Here's a buy to close, 10,000 contracts. They had to pay 2278. Oh, but here's a sell call. They had insurance on that, 277.50 strike. So they made 1089. So all in all, it could have been worse for sure. But again, we still don't want to have an up day like that, like an individual day. But it happened. So, this is a learning experience for everyone. So coin ended up going up 14%. That's a lot. Again, that's a huge swing, not just in 1 week, in 1 day. 1 day, man. CONY, what did they capture? They captured 8.73%. So yeah, it sucks, man. They lost almost 6% upside, but still, it could have been worse, like we said. So we always say 80% is the sweet spot. They captured about 62% of that upside. All right. So that's the damage on CONY. So if you are a CONY head this morning, you may just want to, go outside and let it all out. Right. It's okay. It's okay. All right. So anyway, here's something interesting. If you look, they closed everything, right? They closed everything for the week, which is good for me for a Friday, right? Unless they make more moves. But every contract expires now June 27th. So they had enough of this week. They said, I'm done. Done data. And here's their calls for next week. But the unfortunate part is the lowest strike. The two lowest strikes are in the money. I mean, yikes. So that's not a great start. But again, man, after a huge up day, you got to think, okay, maybe overbought. Maybe it'll chill. Maybe it'll come back down to reality. But who knows, man? We just don't know. All right. Time will tell. We do have one trading day left. But again, these calls expire next week. So this one trading day crap, who gives a damn? But here's the good news. Look at their freaking synthetic. 250. It's a 250 strike. Coin's at 295. So this thing is going to be worth bank, bro. All right. We're going to get some bank out of that. That is for sure. For sure. All right. What's the value of CONY Fund? 1.3 bill. The NAV is 872 and the trade price is 871. And again, here's the bank. It's worth about $1.42 on the paper, which is a lot. Again, CONY's an $8 fund. So imagine making $1.42. Imagine paying $1.42. That's a lot of money. So we'll stay tuned for that. They declare though next week. So yeah, one more trading day, and then I got to start calculating what I think they're going to pay based on income estimate negative. So that's not really helping. If you look at the IV, 62%, that's only 42-cent payment. So will they cash out at least some of the synthetic on the Friday? Should they? Maybe. They don't have to. It doesn't really matter, right? Price wise, it just matters like income wise. I think it would change my estimate if they did. That's the point. That's why I'm asking that. All right. All right. Let's move on. That's your boy CONY. All right. SMCY. Let's go down. We will scroll away. There's your MSTY, your freaking MSTY trades. Way too many. Definitely taking a bathroom break after this before we talk about options. It's one of those days. Lots of coffee, lots of water. Blah. Oh my goodness. What the hell? Miss SMCY. Man. All right. Coffee sip. Okay. You ready? All right. How many we got? We have 203 of you. All right. That's good. Is everyone still awake? All right. Let's keep going. Buy to close, $1.45. Yeah. No, not good. Look at the strike. 43. They closed at 44. So yeah, they lost money on that. $1.64. Yeah, they all these buy to closes are losers, and then they open new positions for next week. So did they? Yeah, they sold their calls, but again, they didn't have a huge update like Coin. So they're buy calls, they're little long calls, they're little insurance plays. I mean, they were there. Like here, they made 49 cents, but hey, whatever, man. We'll see what the capture was on the file. So here it is, SMCI. Yeah, man. Ooh, that's tough. Yeah, that's worse than CONY. SMCI, they went up 3%. SMCY only went up 1.33%. So yeah, it's a little tough, right? What do you think? That's a little much. Not even a 50% capture. So yuckity doo dah. Sorry, SMCY suckers, but it wasn't your day yesterday. Even CONY beat you. All right, so for next week, or no, I'm sorry, for this week, we have two strikes, 44.50 and a 45.50, 0.07% out of the money, and then 2.32% out of the money. However, the lowest strike is by far the largest position. So for Friday, SMCI needs to just chill, or else they're going to get, pretty darn cappity doo dah like they just did the other day. All right, SMCI, SMCY, their synthetic position is a 45, which is essentially at the money. So that's not really doing much either. So let's just take a look at the summary here. The value of the SMCY fund, 198 mil. The NAV is 1959, trade price 1961. Synthetic on the paper is worth negative. So let's keep going. 30-day IV, 67% IV estimate based on that. $2 income estimate is in the negative. Group D declares in 13 days on July 2nd. All right. Last but not least, Palantir fund, PLTY. All right. So let's see. Did they have trades? Well, of course they freaking did. Okay. Not too bad. So what they do, buy call, sell put, sell call. All right. They added new money to their synthetic 140. And they sold a call. Wait, buy call. Here, buy call. Yes, buy call, sell put. Where the hell is the third? Oh, it's all the way down here, 1300. Sold a call for next week. All right, that's fine. And then they did a buy to close, 21 cents. Looks like they won that trade. So all in all, looks okay for PLTY up in her. How did Palantir do yesterday? They went up. They went up 1.26%. PLTY captured even more, 1.34%. So what do we have? We had MSTY, TSLY, Nvidia. So we got 4 out of 6. Okay, that's still pretty good. CONY and SMCY kind of got whooped, but PLTY whooped ass. PLTY beat Palantir. The YieldMax fund beat the underlying, right? Could you imagine that? Who would have thought that's even possible? Go tell everyone. All right, so let's take a look at the calls again. In black font, these expire for Friday, which is tomorrow, because the market is closed. Reminder, the market is closed today. All right, you got to play around with crypto. You can't play with the stock market. Sorry. All right, so the lowest strike is 140. It's 0.03% out of the money. Highest strike for this week, 143, 2.17% out of the money. So what do you do? What do you do with that? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me, Cletus. What? Come on, Cletus. Come on. All right, so yeah, I mean, it can move a little, but we'll see. We'll see what tomorrow brings. I just got that feeling we'll have a little red in our future on Friday. But yeah, we'll see. All right. What's their synthetic doing? They got a 140. It's essentially at the money. It expires July 18th. So there's nothing really to talk about there. Nothing too exciting. The value of their fund is 656 mil. The NAV 65.35. Trade price 68.79. Big change in price, big gap because ex-dividend date is Friday. Again, when you download the holdings and the market is closed today, obviously it's going to reflect the date of Friday. So, and I could show you that right here, right? You see the date 6/20. That's obviously not today. That is Friday. All right, synthetic on the paper is worth about 17 cents per share. Is that cool? I don't know. I guess it is. All right. So, but here's the cooler part, right? Where is it? Income estimate. Oh, it's not working now. Let's go to the group's value. PLTY. Let's update this, right? So we're going to grab the outstanding shares from PLTY so that the formula can work. All right. So let's go up here all the way to the tippity top. Outstanding shares, 10,050,000. So it calculates an income estimate of $10.77. All right. And that's just for this week. Because again, they just restarted another 4-week cycle for this week. Income, what? Yeah, the formula is not pulling, right? So it's up. What is it pulling? D24. It should pull D27. Again, this is why I typically don't update it until all of the funds have had trades. So could you imagine a $10 distribution? That would be a 203% yield, which is nuts. It's nuts. All right. So I'm going to actually take a quick bathroom break and put you on mute, and I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves, and then we'll get into the options trades and then some questions. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, no music. I know there's a way to do music. I just never video background, I support background. Yeah, there is background music actually. Dance pop into space, night driving. I'm not messing around with this right now because I have a feeling it's just gonna screw up my video. But maybe I'll try it later on on another stream. All right, so now we're gonna cover options trading. Unless you guys have questions, real quick. What did I update? Rod updated it. It was a mistake. I don't know. What did I update? Did I update something? All right. Trying to catch up. Yeah, mono. Only there's what? No, there's only 159 people. We lost a lot of people, man. Again, maybe we put them to sleep. My bad. Maybe I need to sing more. All right, so let's go to the options trades that I did yesterday. So First up is T to the S to the L to the L. Again, you got to love this. Love this fund. The day prior, as you may recall, I did a buy to close, and I closed a bunch of calls. I closed them early. I opened them on the 16th. I closed them on the 17th. Why would I close them though? Well, again, I sold a call, the next day TSLL went down. So the calls were very cheap to close, and I captured more than 50% profit in a day. So, and the other reason I did that is, what if TSLL went up the next day? And guess what? It actually did. So I used those same 300 shares, and I sold calls on them yesterday. All 300. I sold a call at 14, 15, and 16. The only difference is I chose an expiration into next week instead of this week, because obviously this week wouldn't have paid much. So I did have a 13, 14, 15 call, which those are the ones I closed. And now I have a 14, 15, 16. So I kind of jumped them up $1 each. And what did I get? What did I collect? Actually, first, let's look at the out of the money. 14 is as low as 12% out of the money. 15 is 20%, and 28% out of the money. So a lot of wiggle room there. If you look at the deltas, 2 of them are below 0.2. One of them is at 0.28. So that's okay, though. And then how much premium did I make between those three? $70. So that's an additional $70. So with the 300 shares within 1 week, right, I made how much with 300 shares? $133. Not bad, right? Not bad at all. All right, so, and that's all I did, though. I didn't sell a put. It wouldn't make sense, right, to sell a put. But as far as, since there is only 1 day until expiration on some of these trades, let's cover where they stand. So again, those 3 calls, they expire next week, so we don't have to talk about those. We also have 2 puts that now expire next week, so we don't have to talk about those. So what's left over? Well, we have a put at 10. This $10 put expires on Friday. What's the price of TSLL? Well, right here, column K, obviously it repeats itself over and over. It's above the 10, so this looks to be probably going to expire worthless, right? Unless TSLL tanks on the Friday. Also, we do have a $16 call. TSLL is not near that, right? It's 29% away from that. So that looks to be expiring worthless as well. I didn't pay to close it because to me it wasn't worth it because I opened it on the 10th. There are a lot of days, I already went through. So closing it wouldn't have, made me much more. Plus, again, it's only 100 shares on its own. So it wasn't worth it. And then last but not least, I have a $11 call. This is in the money by 11%. TSLL, again, is above. It's at 1237. So this is probably going to get assigned if I leave it alone, or I could do a create rolling order and I could roll it 1 more week and see how it goes. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll see. We'll take it, day by day. All right. So if I look at the recap down here, right, I think we have what, 5 covered calls? Yeah. So right now there's 500 shares that are covered of the 800. So I have 300 uncovered. That just means I could sell calls on the other 300. All right, keep going here. How much did I make for the week? TSLL, I made about $195, which again is pretty good. Did it help me hit my goal? We'll see in a second. TNA, real quick update on them. For yesterday, I sold a call. They were, they were green yesterday. I sold a call into next week, $36 strike, 14% out of the money, 0.1 delta, and it paid $16. Not a lot of money, not a lot of yield, but I wanted to get something. All right. So the recap for TNA, I got there's 3 contracts for next week, and there's 4 for this Friday, which is tomorrow. So I got 2 puts for tomorrow, a 31 and a 32. Current price of TNA is 31. So right now, I guess I'm okay there, right? And then I got covered calls, a 32 and a 34. Again, these are out of the money. So actually, no, I'm sorry. This 32 put is not safe. It's 3% in the money. But we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I again, I'm making money both ways. If the market goes red tomorrow, we'll deal with it. If the market's green, then we'll deal with it. Either way, the whole idea of this wheel strategy is to make money in both directions. All right. How much income have I made from TNA this week? $155. All right. So again, TNA shares, I hold 500, 400. I have covered calls on. So there's 100 on Capity Doodah. So we'll see how that plays out. All right. So my weekly income for this week is $350. My goal is $351. So I need to make $1 on Friday, and then I will meet my goal, and then we can talk about the next week. Again, once I hit my goal, any play after that, I plan on being super safe, which means like super low delta in the trades. There's no reason to take too much risk. Because, and what does that mean? It means I'll sell puts way out of the money, or I'll sell calls way out of the money, right? And that's kind of how it will work. So to give you an idea of what the point of this account is, it's an income account. It has one job right now, and that's to pay the mortgage. So right now, if you look for the month of June, obviously, yes, I hold MSTY in here, 500 shares. I already got paid from them. They paid me $735. However, I need $1,300 for the mortgage. So the options goal, not for just the mortgage, but for my breakdown of my spreadsheet here, which I'll show you. My goal actually for June is 2,138. Obviously, well above the 1,300, but that's my goal based on this breakdown. So I want to make $2,138. So in order to do that, I take that number, subtract out what I got on MSTY, and then I calculate it, the remaining amount to be 1,403. So the way I look at it, as long as I average 351 per week, I will hit that goal. And it's as simple as that. Again, I'm not going too crazy, I'm not going nuts, just hitting the basic goals here so that eventually I can, utilize this count to help me retire. Because if you look, it goes all the way down to, I believe, 2030. And assuming I'm still working, then I'll be producing $13,000 if everything, if the goals are hit each and every month, $13,000 a month, which obviously would help greatly. So that's why I'm kind of tracking this. My goal income yield annualized is 50%, which is very, very doable doing your own options. So, and so far so good. Any questions on that, please let me know. But that is the update on my options trades. So I'm going to catch up on some comments. We are 48 minutes in. We got about 192 people, and I'm taking a sip of coffee. Oh, man. So what else? What's going on here? What's up, Steele? Good morning. Oh, man. LA left. See you, LA. Can he do it? A whole dollar? Yeah, that's the question, man. Is it possible for me to make $1 in options premium on Friday? Yeah, don't worry. I'll sing. Got to get back in the garage because no one can hear me there. I don't want to wake up the house. Although they may be awake now. Lots of comments to go through. I'm not going to scroll back, though. All right. Any video questions before we head on out? Oh, yeah. That's actually going to be the keyword, mono, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to let you guys tell me in the comments as the keyword. So unless you guys don't have any other questions, we're just going to go right to that. All right. Well, I guess that's it, man. You guys are half asleep, probably like me. Anyone going to the gym? Well, you guys, probably most people work today, though. Let's be real. But anyway, I guess I'm going to end it here. Just a chillax day. A little rough day for CONY heads, and SMCY suckers. But it is what it is. What can you do? All right. Oh, yes, you're late, Jesse. You're late. Well, you're going to have to rewatch it, I guess. But do you have any questions? I'm about ready to sign off. You got to, oh, man, that's brutal. Mono, when you retiring, man? Come on. Gotta stop working. Enough of this. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready as soon as I can. But over it all. Too old for this. Income TSLL. Yes, TSLL is the best. By the way, I have an X group. I create a TSLL community with Tesla groupie on X. Go check it out. Oh, here's a question. If you had to start options trading now, what stocks would you use? Well, you're pretty much looking at them here. Again, these are triple leverage index ETFs, and I feel more comfortable trading indexes. But again, I want high IV. So in order to get high V on the indexes, you got to use the triple leverage version of those. So it's between these four, and also, of course, TSLL, which is, a guilty pleasure. Always has high IV, and Tesla fluctuates like crazy, and it's really, really fun to trade. Good morning, Carlos. Soon, not soon enough, right? All right. How did you decide on TSLL to do options? Well, I looked at all the damn leverage funds, right? And I wanted to trade Tesla. I couldn't afford it because Tesla's a very expensive stock. So 100 shares, which would be one contract, is pretty much unaffordable. But if you look at TSLL, I think I saw, I don't know who was talking about it. Probably people, could it be people in my Discord? I don't know. But once I found out about it and how cheap it was, I said, yeah, this is it. And then the IV and the options chart, the interest on all the various strike prices, it's just it all works. It's a beautiful ETF to trade. I love it, man. I love it. I like that. But you have to, of course, believe in the underlying. So you have to be comfortable being stuck, being a bag holder with a double leveraged Tesla fund. So you have to like Tesla, of course. But Paul Roman says, do you believe you will be able to retire with these ETFs? Not sure what ETFs you speak of. In general, I assume you're talking about high income ETFs. But yes, absolutely. However, I'm not just going to own ETFs, though. I'm going to do my own options trading. And when I'm retired, most of the account is probably going to be me doing the options. But yeah, there's going to be a portion of me relying on the high income ETFs to do their job and pay. Like I'll probably have the bills come out of one account through the high income ETFs, and then I'll probably have another account for spending, which I'll make that money from my own options trades. Soxel, yeah, it is. Soxel's a good one. It's not an index though; it's a sector based, which is it's okay. But again, if Nvidia goes down, the whole freaking thing seems to go down. That's the problem. So it's almost as if you're better off trading NVDL or NVDX. You know what I mean? Yeah, I could see that swing trading TSLL, but I'm done with that. I'm not swing trading anymore. I'd rather do options. Oh, look who's here. Welcome, ETF Inspector. All right. So how's your YouTube journey going? How many subscribers do you have now? I know, guys, ETF Inspector, he's approaching 1,000, I think, right? 1,000 subscribers. So that's gonna be a huge milestone for him. We got to root for him. We root for all new YouTubers, right? And when they hit their milestone. Let me check it out. See how many subs he's got. He's got 851 guys. So let's yeah, there it is, 851. So I think we can give him 1,000 by the end of this month, right? So if you haven't subscribed to ETF Inspector, go check him out. He actually covers YieldMax, kind of like similar to the way I do, but he covers the other funds. And he posts his video at night, so he don't wait till the morning. So yeah, go check him out and share his channel. Help him hit 1,000. Why not? Right now, think about it. In the beginning, you don't get paid crap. You just bust your ass. Believe me, I know the feeling. I did it for 5 years before I even reached anything. But I know what you're doing is a lot of work, though. So it's crazy. Any other questions? We are 55 minutes in. No work today for me. Again, I'm getting my ass to the gym after this. Thank God. And going from there. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Just chilling. It's nice to have a chill, no rush live stream, you know? I'm wondering what else, is there anything else you guys want me to cover for today? All right, for today. Yeah, no more questions here. I got the retire now. Yeah. Cardio or weights? If I go to the gym, weights all the time. If I'm doing cardio, it's outside. So I wouldn't go to the gym. I just run around the neighborhoods. I can't use a treadmill anymore. It's just too boring. Carlos has a question. I heard you're working on your website. Any plans when it will be live? Yeah. Well, bad financial decisions. Amy, who's like the programming genius, is helping me out. No idea what I'm going to even do with it, to be honest. I just wanted to, start with something, build out something. So it's not something I'm going to utilize much while I'm working, but when I'm retired, I think I'm going to utilize it for like maybe a newsletter, something like that. Maybe once a week, once a month, not sure. Or like I said, I want to do this coaching thing, financial coaching, obviously not financial advising, but like in general, just the basics, like the people who want to, either they want to just learn the basics of investing or they just want to talk about options or anything. If people want like a half hour or something, I don't know. It's just a thought. But outside of that, the website would hold like my social media updates, things like that. I don't know. So if you got ideas, Carlos, let me know. I don't know if you have a website. I know you're on X a lot and you travel. So if you travel so much, how are you making that income, brah? How are you making the bank, brah? Leg day? No, probably back. Leg day, maybe next week. I don't really feel like doing legs today, to be honest. But yeah, I do. I don't skip leg day. Don't worry, Mono. I don't. Thank you very much. But yeah, website soon. I'm up for any ideas you guys got. All right, we got 180 of you lingering, so I'll still take any questions before we head out of here. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Actually, maybe let me go to the music now. All right. Carlos is building dividend hook web app ETF estimator, trying to get it rolling. Wow. See, I know you're up to something, man. TNA says thank you. All right. Got to get old VPN logged in. Hate work. Man, Mono, you're miserable today for working. Sucks, man. I know. But when's your retirement date? What's the date here? You got to have a date. All right. I'm going to check out the music here. Let's see. I'm going to click something. Let's do rock. You guys hear that? You guys hear that? 18 years? No way. You didn't work another 18 years. But you guys like this music? Can you hear the music? Yeah, I guess that's right. Sounds jazzy. Pretty cool. Here's Gibson Rocker. Good morning. I'm new to the channel and enjoying your coverage. Welcome. Clear. What else you got? There's other music here. There's night driving. I don't want you guys to sleep. Let's play dance pop. Here we go. go. I can't imagine keeping this while I'm talking though the whole time, right? I don't know. Is that something you guys would want? We got a question from John G. John G in the house. How will Misty ever pay high dividends again with over 225 million shares? Well, the number of outstanding shares is actually irrelevant to what they're paying. When they add money, that money is going to work. It's going to work just like the rest of the money. So as long as more people buy in, don't worry, they're going to put that money to work right away. It's all about how MSTR acts, how MSTR behaves, what MSTR does, what their implied volatility is. Will they pay high dividends? Again, who the hell knows, right? What do you consider high, right? That's the other question. But yeah, I mean, of course it's possible. Everyone thinks Bitcoin is at a standstill, and it's going to pop soon. And if it does, I'm assuming MSTR will. So sky's the limit for us. That's why I own Misty, right? Bitcoin play, pretty much. Bitcoin income play. Yeah, nah. Oh, crap. All right. Thanks for that. Yeah, I'll lower it. My bad. Were you guys able to hear? Hopefully you can hear me when I was talking before. Thanks for letting me know, brother. Can you still hear? I just lowered it. Not a fan of the music. All right, yeah, see. Yeah, I'm just testing things out here. But yeah. Any other questions? Sounds better. All right. Yeah, if I keep it super low, it's probably okay. All right, we're about an hour into the live stream. Yeah, didn't have rave music. We got this. Pretty all the music's pretty lame-o. Whatever, man. Let's see what else they got. All right, anyway, I'm going to the comments and then we'll call it a day. Let's see. Good morning. Meta Planet investors join us. I actually did buy some in one of our accounts. Z, yeah, back to bed. Is anyone going back to bed after this? LOL. Yeah, no, I know. I should. I actually need to talk to her about that. But she's pretty busy on other stuff. Because I'm freaking clueless with this crap. 2,000 shares. Wow. Yeah, I don't know, man. Hopefully, how much did you have to pay to buy them? I think I had to pay like a fee of $50 to buy Meta Planet on Fidelity. Did you have to pay a fee as well? It's a great idea. What? Oh, theme song? Yeah. Yeah, because when I go live, it gives me the option to add like an intro. Obviously, I do the same stupid intro that's defaulted, but if I can get an intro, that would be pretty cool. Groove music. Yeah, $50 each buy. So you're better off buying a bunch at once instead of, a little here and there. Hey, Colby, yeah, $50 fee. I guess that's normal. I saw that. I'm like, and at first I was like, I'm not paying that. And then I went a couple days later. I'm like, all right, I'll just do it. But yeah, 1,000 shares each purchase. Wow. Yeah. Lower volume is much better. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, I guess a little music is better than nothing if it's low. All right, John G. I'm usually listening to your recordings from Hawaii, but now in Australia for a week. So this is my first live session. Awesome. Yeah, this is I'm off today from work, so I'm kind of just like doing whatever at the end. Colby, same here, 5K at $4. Nice. Just wondering if you ever shared how much you've invested total into YieldMax. Yeah, at the I do end of month updates. So end of June, I'll do an update on both of my accounts. I have this account, which is what you see. I mean, this account, it's not a secret. I have 500 shares of MSTY. I have 500 in the other account, but I have a whole bunch of other weekly pairs in there too. But yes, that is shared. Are you speaking? Yes, bad financial. Yep, that's her. She's probably not here because she sleeps late. But yeah, she's. I'm gonna use her skills to help me out for sure. The website and other things. Coffee's still hot. Love it. The warmer's working. But yeah, check out her channel as well. We gotta show her and ETF Inspector. All right, got to give them a sub. I'm gonna put both their links in. All right, first we'll do her. All right, let me copy that. There you go. All right, go subscribe to her. She has 2,600 subs. And ETF Inspector, we got to get him to 1,000. So go subscribe to him. All right, easy enough. Gibson Rocker, I'm 45K in YieldMax. Yeah, I mean, I would be if I didn't do options myself. I love trading options. Yeah, we're just chilling, man. We're just not doing nothing. You know, we're just hanging out. I'm trying to cover some questions during this extended live stream, which is, again, I'm pretty much waiting till I finish my coffee, I guess, at this point. And I'm actually going into LA Appliances premiere time. Good morning, Bueller. All right, guys, come on. We got like 3 minutes. Any final words? Turn off the heater, probably. Let's see. Go. Best thing was trading options, putting some premiums into the dividends to help cover in case you miss a trade. Yeah, it's awesome to have the option to have, you know, them do it for you. Especially, there's just so many choices now. It's actually overwhelming at this point. You don't know what to pick. But I'm utilizing, you know, I never thought I'd care about weekly pay, but I'm kind of utilizing them as in their own account, just a weekly paycheck. So I'm getting paid every single week from all those funds, and they're paying pretty much all the bills except the mortgage. Mortgage comes out of here. Says, let's hope for some better cycles this month. Yeah, I mean, IV's low in the market. Sucks, but what can you do, man? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Gibson, for becoming a member. You rule. Did I get burned in any trades? No. Again, I just trade options on TSL and TNA, and I just do it. When they're red, I sell puts. When they're green, I sell calls. And that's it. And I try to keep the delta low enough, a respectable amount, that either way, if it's a big shift in price, it won't hurt me. And it's kind of been working. So, you know, no issues for me. I'm not a swing trader anymore. I'm not doing that. Maybe when I'm retired and I have the time, because I'll save that for the chart people, because I am not a chart person. I don't want to be. All right. Has Jay and his team ever explained to you why or how they decide to either overpay Nvidia last month or hold back some? Again, we kind of know the cycle of what, you know, when they make the money, but it's there. Let me take a sip. I mean, to keep it simple, it's pretty much the IV, right? They're going to pay us the IV. If they make a lot extra on the synthetic, it's possible they'll pay a little more, but it's also possible that they won't, and they'll just, you know, they'll hold some back in order to protect the NAV. But what's the rhyme or reason? No, they don't really go into why they do a certain payment each and every time. And to be honest, I don't really care. I don't. They pay what they pay. you know, it is what it is. I'm sure they change their mind week in and week out. All right, let's do this or let's do that. But you know, the guess is just for fun. You know, sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong, but who really cares, right? All right. Aaron says, I'm new. I have around 70K and a bunch of shares and options, some YieldMax stuff. Where can I get a breakdown on what to buy? Recommended anyways. I mean, no one's going to give you a recommendation because they don't really know your situation. So unfortunately, what you're going to have to do is just listen to, you know, various YouTubers cover the various funds and take that and compare that. You know, what type of yield do you need, right? Why do you want the income? Number one, how much income do you need? What's your goal? What's your goal now? What's your goal 5 years from now, 10 years from now? There's a lot of questions. But yeah, no one should ever recommend any fund to anyone unless they're like a financial advisor. Looking forward to hanging out and learning what the hell I'm doing, especially in the YieldMax funds. Yeah, that's why we're here. Learn together, man. Learn together. See, people are just showing up. People are waking up. Mike K, good morning. Sorry, I guess for a good yield. Don't need to live on it, just reinvest. See, I don't know. This is where my opinion differs to others. If you're reinvesting the whole thing, then why bother? Like, why invest in these funds? To me, I use these because I'm using the income. These pay my bills. But if you're just reinvesting 100%, to be honest, you're better off just buying the underlying, right? Think about that. If you're buying YieldMax, all right, just buy an index then, right? Because overall, that's not going to be capity-doo-dah, and you'll capture the full upside of whatever the market's doing. Just because, you know, you're getting income on these and you're reinvesting, yeah, sometimes you'll do better, but some, you know, in the long run, you probably won't, right? You'll probably be better off owning the underlying directly. That's only, again, if you're reinvesting all of it. That's just my opinion. A lot of people disagree with me on that, though. Is it Paul in? Hello. A1, I've never been able to buy on IPO day. I've even put a limit order in. IPO on what? What are you trying to buy? Can you set up another interview with the yield? Yeah, at some point. I don't know if you heard, but we're going to the closing bell with them on in July. So I'm probably not going to have an interview before that. But I do plan on doing interviews there. Maybe live, maybe not. I don't know. Future retirement, I want around 5K a month in 5 years. All right, so figure out how much you need to make 5K a month. And then from now until then, what's the best investment to get you to that amount, to that capital number, right? That's what you need to think about. What's your number? What's your capital number, right? In order to produce 5K, what's a safe yield percentage for you to do that? It was, oh yeah, Circle. Yeah, I think that jumped up pretty high, didn't it? Circle. I don't even know what the hell it is, to be honest. I keep hearing the name. I keep hearing Mike Venuto talk about it. But yeah, they're definitely gonna want to fund on that for sure. Pistol Pete, study the YieldMax funds, land other funds. There's a learning curve. Do your homework. Circle IPO. Congrats, that's awesome. What's awesome? I don't know. Here's a polling question. What are some reasons YieldMax and the like will not be around in time? I mean, let's hope that's not the case, but I don't know what are reasons. Well, when they change the rules with ETFs and they go back to how it was, that's one way. Or there's lack of interest. Like if people just sell out of the funds and there's no interest, then yeah, sure, that could be a problem, right? Let's see. It's a stable coin company. Really? It's pretty cool. All right, yeah, I'll take a look. What's the IV on that? Probably freaking nice. Going to close. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah, it's gonna be Gonna be fun. You'll have to get on the next one for sure. I'll make sure of it. All right. What else? What else we got? We got 188 people still lingering. Who knows if they're listening? But yeah. All right. So what else we got? What else? Anything else? I know I'm like hour and 15. Good God. Yeah, I should probably close it up. I'm gonna get complaints. This is too long. All right. Everyone awake? Can you still hear the music? All right. All right. Anyway, I'm going to end it. So, as always, say hi to Todd at the opening bell ceremony from Farmer Rick. I know how many hate on him, but he's revealed a ton to me. I don't think people hate him. I think people just make fun of him because he talks about Cornerstone a lot in his e-guides, but I don't think people hate him. I don't think he's hateable, to be honest. I think he seems like a likable guy. Overtime, catch you later. I bought one share of Circle of 118. Okay. Yes, I share my portfolio at the end of each month. All right, so if you made, well, no, sorry. As always, this video is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is simply for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you were entertained. If not, hey, whatever. We tried. We did what we did. So it is what it is. We'll try again tomorrow and we'll go from there. Any change from last month? What, my portfolio? Not really. Actually, not much change at all, honestly. It's probably just whatever movement in the options, whatever I got assigned on options. My other account that pays the bills, maybe I probably added a few. I probably added MSTY. I don't know. Not much change though. If you guys enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them down below. If you have a question for the video, please type video question. Now, the keyword today is not really a keyword. It's a question to you guys because the market is closed today. I don't have to cover any trades at the end of the close today, which is good. I have baseball anyway. But the question for tomorrow is, what should I talk about? I'm going to go live from 6 to 7 a.m. tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Obviously, I could do a quick recap where we stand heading into the day. But if there is like, do you want me to cover? I was thinking, should I cover the prospectus on IMST? Right? We talk about it. We never covered this prospectus. Should we cover the prospectus on MS2? Should we do things like that? Or should we just do like Q&A? Should I have special guests? Should I have Bad Financial Decisions back? Do a quick interview bright and early? Should I have someone else on? Let me know the names. I have to give them obviously advance notice. But you guys have to let me know. And that's the key word today. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, I need suggestions for tomorrow's video. And then whatever seems the most exciting, we will go from there, if that makes sense. All right. Thank you all. Thank you, Aaron, for a lot, big participation at the end. I love it. But thank you all for joining. Those of you that joined in the beginning, in the middle, in the end, the whole thing. Awesome. Options wheel strategy. Absolutely. I would love to do that, and talk about it, but that would be pretty cool. But yeah. All right. Recap and Q&A, maybe go over options a little. Okay. All right. So Amy, get Amy, Don, Rod, Donna, who, what, who? All right. Haha. Have a great day. All right. I'm out of here. I hope everyone has a great day and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Later.